Hello everyone, and welcome to another weekly Easy Happy Hour session. Every Monday between 2 and 3 p.m. We are still in the topic series of a peek inside Easy Layers. And I would just like to remind that the session is being recorded, and at the end of the session, we will stop the recording just in case someone feels more comfortable sharing what they have about Easy. And as explained in previous sessions, Easy is based on a three-layered architecture. Today, we're going to navigate through how each of those layers is represented by the dedicated GitHub repository and a bit more. In the GitHub repositories, you can find instructions and files required to set up a similar infrastructure for which we use in Easy. For today's session highlights, we have the final call for the hackathon session in the wake of Euro HPC User Days 2025. That is on the 2nd of October, on Thursday. Kenneth, maybe you can give us a highlight about the preparations for this?
Yeah, so we'll have about 13 people in person outside of the people from the Easy team to support the attendees, and about 30-ish, 35 people online. So it'll be a hybrid event where we try to help out both people who are attending in person and people who are interested to attend online. The agenda is on the web page, which is behind the QR code here. But high level, it will be in the morning. We'll have a very quick introduction to Easy and Easy Build in half an hour combined. And then we'll start focusing on use cases with Easy specific to continuous integration. So let's say pre-release testing of software in an automated way every time you make a change, and show how Easy can be used for this. And then a little bit more into continuous deployment as well, so the CD part. So it's a hackathon session on CI/CD with Easy, let's say. That's the morning. Then shortly after lunch break, we'll go into hands-on mode, where people will have three options essentially. They can either try to reproduce the demo that Alan will do in the morning, with mostly for the CI part, or they can try the same kind of workflow with a different software package. So that means they'll need at least a little bit of Easy Build knowledge or experience to do that. Or if they are ready for it, they can go into advanced mode and try something very different specific to their use case. So essentially bring their own software into this use case, into this workflow, and see how far they get. So trying to build their software on top of Easy, doing that in a CI environment, and so on. So anyone who wants to focus on one of these three aspects is welcome to join the hands-on. And both in person, we'll have about 4 or 5 people running around helping people. And also for the virtual attendees, there will be a couple of people, including Richard and Bob and Pedro, who are here in the call, and Davide as well, who will be helping out the online attendees as well. So there we'll try to use Zoom breakout rooms and Q&A via the Easy Slack and so on. So let's see how it all works out. It's a bit of an experiment for us as well, especially the hands-on part of things. But I think it could be very interesting. We're going to record at least the presentation part of this as well, of course, and share it later. And to wrap up the session, we're going to do a kind of show and tell, where attendees can show what they did, and maybe they went way beyond what we had in mind, or they really managed to apply this to their use case with a bit of help. And the most impressive project will actually win a Raspberry Pi starter kit. So we have like this prize as a carrot, let's say, to try and get people to be really active. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Kenneth, just a question about this. Is this registration still open or?
No, so if they go to the page now and click the registration link, they'll see they can no longer register, but it will say that they can just send an email to support@easy.io if they still want to join the online session. That's still possible, but we're deliberately not going through the registration thing again because we'll probably forget picking up those last people who registered there. If they send us an email to support@easy.io, we won't forget about getting back to them.
Okay. So for anyone interested, just email the Easy support and we will try to help you with the registration.
Yep.
So continuing with the other points for today, like easy file system layer. So the file system layer repository represents the infrastructure backbone of Easy. As mentioned in previous sessions, it uses CERN VMFS, which enables the efficient distribution of the optimized software installations. In the GitHub repository, you can find more information about the CERN VMFS, what CVMFS is, and what the easy CVMFS infrastructure consists of. Stratum 0, Stratum 1's squid proxies and clients. You can find also guidelines, explanation, and required files for setting up infrastructure similar to what we use in Easy. The main prerequisite is Ansible, which can be installed via the package manager of most Linux distributions or via pip install. It's good to mention that the Ansible requires to be able to log into remote machines, and it needs to run some privilege escalated commands. Thus, it needs to execute some root permission commands on the remote machines, for example, while installing the CVMFS client. For a quick view, I will show you what the file system. So this is the file system layer in Easy. This is the GitHub repository. And here we can see the information about the CERN VMFS, also information about CVMFS infrastructure in Easy. So we have Stratum 0, Stratum 1, Squid proxies, and clients. Here we can see the prerequisites for the Ansible and also some details, some information about the firewall exception rules that has to be applied in order to have a proper installation. Or for any questions about this, you can always reach us and we will try to help you. The next is the easy compat layer. So the easy compat layer uses Gentoo prefix to provide a known base on top of the host. It levels the ground across different versions of Linux systems that use the software installations provided by Easy. The installation of the compatibility layer is also implemented with an Ansible playbook and Ansible role, which you can find in the Ansible subdirectory. Ansible playbook will do the Gentoo prefix bootstrap, which usually takes several hours to complete, and a lot of easy configurations and customizations, install a bunch of packages that we require for Easy, and finally it will run a reframe test suite to check the installation. To make it even easier for you, we provide a script that is called install compatibility layer.sh that can be used on basically any host that has Aptainer installed. Without requiring special privileges, the script will execute the Ansible playbook inside an Aptainer built container, ensuring that all dependencies, including Ansible itself, are available. In order to be able to write to the /cvmfs, the container will bind mount a directory from the host as a cvmfs inside the container. Now we're going to take a look for the compatibility layer. So this is the compatibility layer, GitHub repository in Easy. As mentioned, it has this special script to make it easy to install the compatibility layer. It's called install compatibility layer.sh. And also you can find the Ansible playbooks and scripts available in this Ansible folder. So for the compatibility layer, there is also a description of what the compatibility layer is and a briefing of how to install this. Again, for any information, for any support, please reach us and we'll try to help you. The third is the Easy software layer. So the software layer of Easy project uses Easy Build, Lmode, and RSpec. It usually contains, or it contains actually, the optimized scientific software applications and their dependencies. The software layer GitHub repository is where we add the easy configs for the new software to be added to Easy. And so will be the case for contributors, which we will cover in upcoming sessions. It is managed through Easy Stack files. Easy Stack files are written in YAML syntax, which essentially lists the easy config files for the software packages which are installed or we want to install. Those are categorized by easy version, easy build versions, and tool chains supported in easy. Now we will have another quick look for the repository, software layer repository. So this is the GitHub repository for software layer in easy. I will cover this change in the next highlight point. For now, what we are interested in is the easy stack files, which are found here. And as mentioned, those are related to easy versions, as you can see 2023-06 and 2025-06. Going into 2023-06, we can see that there are those easy stack YAML files, and basically they are related to easy version, easy build version, and also to the tool chain that are supported by easy. If we take a look into any one of those, for example, this one, we can see different easy configs that are required for building the software in easy. Next is the easy software layer scripts. The easy software layer scripts houses the automation scripts and files used to build the software for the software layer. For example, it has the ebhooks file, which we use in EasyBuild. Also, it has the easycontainer.sh script, which we have covered in earlier sessions while we were running the easy within a container. This easy software layer script repository have been implemented in June 2025. Earlier, those scripts were part of the software layer, but then they were separated into a different repository. As we can see, so here, this is the software layer scripts in Easy. And as mentioned, we can see the ebhooks file. We can see the Easy container script file, and also other files that are required to initialize Easy properly. From user perspective, basically the interaction should be with the software layer, but that doesn't mean that sometimes also those modifications are required in those specific scripts also. Next, we will go through the Easy Docs. The Easy Docs repository serves as a comprehensive knowledge base for the entire Easy project. Here, you can find detailed documentation, tutorials, best practices, blogs, and much more information to Easy and how to make Easy accessible to researchers and users. I guess you are all familiar with the Easy Docs from earlier presentations, but just to take a look at what the Easy Docs GitHub repository looks like. So basically, you can see this is the Easy GitHub Docs repository, and it has some information of how to modify and how to run using the mkdocs. So if anyone wants to contribute into this, they can still make a PR and it will be reviewed by the Easy support team. And next we have the EasyBot software layer. The EasyBot software layer contains the automation system that powers Easy build, test, deploy pipeline. The EasyBot monitors pull requests from different GitHub repositories, triggers builds, runs comprehensive tests, and manages deployments with minimal human intervention. I will not go into deep about the bot as this will be covered by later sessions, but we use the EasyBot to build for 14 different architectures. Also, we use the EasyBot to build the compat layer. So basically, with the least human intervention, we can achieve all those builds. And last, if you need any further information, the GitHub page for the Easy organization has been lately added. So you can here find more information about the Easy organization and the different GitHub repositories and other information too. This is the last topic series in a peek inside Easy layer. And next topic will be environment variables to tweak Easy installation, initialization. And this was like set upon request from previous attendees for Easy Happy Hours. So hopefully you will attend this session next week. Any questions in the chat or even live?
Not a question, but a quick comment. Richard, if you can go back to your second slide, I think that lists most of the repositories. Yeah, this one. I mean, there's a lot of, let's say, internal stuff here in the sense that how we build Easy ourselves, the compat layer, all the automation around that, also how we manage the certain VMFS servers, the mirror servers mainly, but also the central one. So all the playbooks used for that are shared in these repositories. But for most people who are interested in using Easy or in adding more software into the software layer, the software layer repository is really where they want to focus on. So where those Easy stacks are. And that's also why we split this up into pure Easy stacks or almost pure Easy stacks and automation scripts. Because usually all these automation scripts you don't need to touch, and you can just add additional Easy config files to the Easy stack files to get more software in there. So that's also a reason why we pull things apart a bit to make it a bit easier to contribute. So the Easy software layer repository is, I guess, where most people will be interested in to try and get more software into Easy. Everything else is we're also sharing how we're doing things. If you want to build your own Easy for whatever reason, this is everything we share is definitely a very good starting point. But typically you wouldn't need to look at that.
Maybe one thing we missed also to mention that EasyBuild 5.1.2 is now available in Easy.
Yeah. So EasyBuild 5.1.2 was released last Friday, and just since this morning, I think it's now deployed in Easy as well. So from this point forward, for new installations, we'll use EasyBuild 5.1.2. So we always try to use the latest available stable release of EasyBuild.
Okay, so if no further comments, I will stop the recording, and whoever wants to share anything without being recorded,